When you're asked to write the equation of a line, typically the problems are given in one of the following ways. You're given the slope and a point that's on that line, or you're given 2 points on that line. In this video, I'm going to go over this first way, where you're just given a slope and a point. So here's our example. I've been given the slope of the line. Slope of the line is 3, and I've been given a point on that line. We're always going to go back to that formula. Y equals mx plus b. Now the m is where the slope is, so it's y is equal to, you put the slope right there in that spot beside the x, plus the y-intercept goes on the end down there. It's almost like you find these two pieces of information and you stick them in those two spots and you've got the equation of the line. Well, I've got one of those pieces of information already. I've got the slope. So it's y is equal to 3x plus, I only need to figure out what my y-intercept is. That's the only thing I need to do. I'm going to use this formula right here to figure out what the y-intercept is. So I want to use y is equal to mx plus b to figure that out. And my b is going to be my y-intercept. I have enough information up here to fill in numbers in every spot except for the b. And I'm going to solve it like an equation for b. Remember, a point consists of an x and a y. That's going to correspond to the x and the y in this formula. So I look up there, there's a y I can put in this spot right here. I put a 3 right there. I've got my slope, which is right here. I put it where the m is. I'm going to make parentheses because when these two things are beside each other like this, you're multiplying them together. I've got my x right here, -2 plus b. The only thing I need to do now is solve this, and I'll figure out what the y-intercept is, and I can put it in that spot right there. So 3 is equal to -2 times 3, -6 plus b. To solve this, I need to add 6 to both sides. b, which is my y-intercept, is equal to 9. Now the only thing I need to do is put that 9 in that spot right there. Y is equal to 3, which is my slope, times x, plus my y-intercept, which is 9. There's the equation of a line that has a slope of 3, and this point is on this line. I use this point to generate this equation. This is the equation of that line. Now, your slope and your y-intercept will not always be whole numbers. So I'm going to give you an example where you don't have all whole numbers in this. So let's look at this example. Again, I'm going to use this formula. Y equals mx plus b. And I'm going to immediately start plugging in the information they give me. Remember, this point over here is an x and a y. Now I'm going to take that y and put it in this spot right here. -3 is equal to my slope, -2/3, and my x, which is -6, plus b. I'm automatically going to figure out what my y-intercept is. I've got my slope. I know what my slope is. It's going to go in that spot right there. I'm just automatically plugging all this stuff in so I can figure out what the y-intercept is. I need to figure out what -2/3 times -6 is. A negative times a negative is a positive. 6 times 2 is 12, divided by 3 is 4, plus b. I need to solve this. Subtract 4 from both sides. b is equal to -7. I need to plug in my information in the right spots right here. I've got my slope, which goes in this spot right here. I've got my y-intercept, which goes in this spot right here. Y is equal to -2/3 x minus 7. There's the equation of that line. In some other videos, I'll do some more examples of this, But this is the basics of using that formula and the information they give you, a slope and a point, to figure out the equation of a line.